Taxi vlog 337. It is Christmas Day. It is 6:25 p.m. It's been an interesting week so far. Came out Monday night. That was the 22nd, and it was fairly quiet. It took me till about 11 o'clock to break even. And then, after I broke even, the stops got pulled out, and I was getting quite some decent fares, and quite a fair amount of them. And it went quite well. And in the morning, I had a run to the airport, which really helped a lot. One funny thing about that Monday night is I believe it was a new moon, judging by what the moon is doing tonight, or what the moon has been doing last night too. At one point, I was sent to a shopping center to pick someone up, and as I'm pulling through there's this crosswalk that goes across my path, and there was this woman standing on the opposite side, and she was looking the other way. So I wasn't going to stop for her since she wasn't in the crosswalk, and she clearly was not pointing in the direction of travel that would send her through the crosswalk. But as I drove over it, she jumped out at me and said, "Asshole!" I thought nothing of it. I figured, well, I didn't see her because the pillars on the corners of this car are really thick and heavy, and it's hard to see people at night, especially when they are dressed in black and do not have a light on. My headlights point down and forward, not to the side. So unless there's a bright light shining on you, I can't see you. So I thought nothing of it, and I picked up my fare. And I have to come around through the parking lot and come back the same way. Now, I didn't piece two and two together, but there was a woman standing on the opposite side and facing the other way. And I'm driving through, and I have my window open a little bit, and I don't see her because she didn't move. She was facing the other way. And of course, these pillars are so big. And my customer's saying, "Lady!" And as she's saying that, I'm hitting the brakes because I don't know what the fuck's going on. And this woman steps out into the crosswalk again, and she says, "You shithead!" right into my window, which was open that much. And it's like, oh, you're going out of your way to be a bitch to me? Now, I felt kind of bad because I didn't realize that I could have missed her twice, but she was doing this on purpose, just to be a bitch. And a funny thing happened last night. I picked up another customer at a liquor store, and she was going to a friend's place. And on our trip there, she said, "I don't understand some people at Christmas. It's like there's some people who are trying to make it all joyous and happy, and then there's the other people who are trying to make it miserable for everyone else." She said, "I was just walking down the street earlier on, and there was this guy who jumped out at me and said, 'You fucking lesbian!' And she says, I didn't even realize I was a lesbian." So it's a time of year of contrasts, I imagine. Not everything is silent night and peaceful and holy and all that other Cacadooey. I don't really do Christmas. I may have mentioned it to you before. This is why I'm out here at work. I don't think it's going to be very busy tonight. I think a lot of things are closed the evening of Christmas Day. So I only got a couple videos to watch on YouTube. And I think all the stores are closed. And I've only got, well, I'm still reading my book. It's still On the oceans of eternity for you, Mom. The oceans of it. Whoa! I'm just getting a call. I don't believe it. So anyway, the Wednesday I came out, and it was a little slow the first hour or so, and then it actually picked up, and it was really busy. It was one right after another, after another, after another, after another, after another, after another, all the way past 3 o'clock in the morning. I was tired at that point, and even after 3, I managed to read a few pages and then relax a little bit. And while I was relaxing, I still got a couple of calls, and one of the last ones was out to Langford, the Western Communities, $35, thank you very much. And I was out there already, and it was 20 after 5, and I got another call, which was good for 20 bucks in that area. So, like, I had 2 good ones in a row there. I'm supposed to be going to 880, huh? Who is it for? Oh, that's due at 6:45, so that's in 14 minutes. I have to get this one. Oh my goodness. 880. Okay. I've got lots of time to kill. Lots and lots. Does it say it's at the... It doesn't say if it's at... I guess it's at the apartment building. Because there's this place about a block from here that has the same address. There are townhouses and there is an apartment block, and it's all on the same property, and it all has the same address, and it does not say apartment number. It just says the street address and due at 6:45. So I've got some time to kill. I've got almost 13 minutes to kill before I have to pick up this guy. So I guess I can tell you a little more what's been happening. Yeah. So, yeah, that night was busy. That was the Tuesday night, and then I finished it just in time. And I got back, washed the car, and parked it. Well, fueled it, of course, and parked it. I had a busy night. I made a substantial bank deposit, and now I've reached my financial goals for the month. I've got enough to pay the income tax. I have a fridge full of groceries. I have the rent in the bank, and now it's whatever money I make between now and about the 2nd of January is just going to be play money, I think. That's a nice luxury to have over a whole week of income that is just for fun. Of course, I'm going to buy some whiskey. That's one of the things that I still enjoy a lot. Just to have a couple of drams and relax. It's teaching me, I think whiskey is teaching me to take my time and take things more slowly and not be in a rush, because if you hurry it, it doesn't taste as good as when you take it slow. Yes, in the morning after work I had a quick dram of white and Mackay to get started, and then I thought I would tackle once again the Ardbeg Ugadal, which I did, and it seems to have settled down a little bit, and I overwatered it. I drowned it, and I should not have done that. I should have tried it neat first, but I thought, oh well, this stuff, you gotta give it a dash of water and then let it sit. I think I gave it a little bit too much water before letting it sit. I should have tried it neat first. But you keep making mistakes until you finally get it right. And then when you get it right, then it's right on. Okay. So that's the way things are going right now. Last night, the Christmas Eve was the first hour or so, the first half hour was quiet again. And then it started to move. And I was moving. I was busier than stink until just after midnight. And between midnight and 6 in the morning, I think I had 6 or 7 fares. But I had some wonderful tips. I had these people with an $11 fare give me $30. And I said, that's too much. And they said, no, it's not. And I had several people, you know, with $10 fares give me 20. And so last night, even though maybe on paper it doesn't look really good, the tips were pretty good, pretty phenomenal. I think I made over $100 in tips alone. So that was the Christmas Eve. Now it's the night of Christmas Day. I still got 10 minutes till I got to pick this guy up. Yeah, so last night people were in a good mood. People were relaxed. There was not a lot of traffic. Not like on Tuesday where there was crazy traffic until about 9 or 10 when all the stores closed. And then after that, nobody was driving anymore. Everyone was drinking. So that's what happened the night before Christmas Eve. It was, you know, all the shopping and stuff was done. But now all the stress of the season is gone. Now there's no more worry, there's no more hassle, there's no more hurry. I think it's going to be quite a relaxing night tonight, and I'm going to get to read a lot and relax a bit, and maybe even catch up on a bit of sleep, because the last 2 days were, last couple nights were quite tiring and taxing. So I guess I'll come back to you tomorrow or Saturday morning and let you know how tonight went, unless I just am aching to tell you about tonight at the end of this shift. So anyway, I'll let you know what's going on the next couple shifts as soon as they happen. Well, I'm at the place where I'm supposed to be, and I still got 8 minutes till the guy's supposed to come out. So we'll just pull in here and talk to you sooner. I just got home. I just walked in the door. I'm tired. The night was after I stopped vlogging. I got a call, and then I got another call, and I got another call, and I was busy. I was smoking busy. I was non-stop busy. I was getting, at one point, the call was half an hour old, but that's the only one that really got old. That was around, I don't know, 8 or 9 o'clock. Anyway, I worked hard, very hard, and at one point, and people were nice, and people were generous, and people were terrific for the most part. But then I had this one fare that went out to Langford. And when I was in Langford, I dropped that off, and I got sent to another call out there. And as soon as kids get in and they start talking yo dog and homie, it's like, oh fuck, it's yo dog and homie show. And then they were loud and they were obnoxious, and they had probably been drinking. I'm sure they were drinking, and they had also most likely done maybe a bit of cocaine. I don't know. But they were kind of high. And they just asked me to stop in the middle of the road rather than pulling off over anywhere. And then the guy started throwing money into the little cup holder next to me on the console. And I don't like when people do that. And then this one's getting out, and that one's throwing money and going out. And then the one in the back said, let me out, 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 let me out. Okay, fine. We have this stupid safety feature where you have to push the button marked park to open the doors. No, I thought that was the worst. But then I got sent to another call, and I called them when I arrived there. And we're out in Langford. We're out in Western Communities. It's about a $30 fare from Victoria. Anyways, after waiting there for 10 minutes, this couple comes out, and he said, oh shit. He said, they woke me up for this. Oh, okay. And then she comes out and says, "We're going to Victoria. Can you put on 94.3? Oh, fuck the radio. So I have to stop the car so I can figure out getting the 94.3 radio. And then then we turn the corner and start to drive. She says, "Where are you taking us?" I said, "Well, you want to go to Victoria, right?" She said, "Well, yeah." And then I said, "Well, I'll take you to Victoria." They gave me a street corner, an address, and start driving towards there. And then she says, "Well, did you bring my booze?" And he said, "Well, I brought some booze." And he shows her, and she says, "I don't drink vodka. Let's go back." He says, "Well, we don't have the money to go back. I can't afford to go back." She said, "Oh, come on, we got to go back." And he says, no, we can't afford to. We can't spare the money." So I'm pulling onto the highway, and she says, "Well, now it's beyond the point of no return. Now we're on our way. Now we're on the highway." And I didn't say anything. I just drove. And she's being an obnoxious bitch, you know. She's being loud and just being drunk. You know how when young people especially get a little drunk, they start spouting off. And at one point I felt like just stopping the car and kicking her out. And then she said, "Oh, gee, this is going up pretty high." And I looked at it, and it was like $10 on the meter. And she says, "Well, stop and let us out when it gets to $14. And I'm thinking, you're joking, right? And then we were driving a little more, and then the guy says, "Oh, it's already at $12. So anyway, we keep on going, and I pay no attention to that, and it gets to 15:55. And she says, "Are you going to pull over or what?" "Well, I thought you were joking," I said. She said, "No." I said, "Okay, fine. I'll pull over. If you insist, I'll pull over." So it was like 15:55, whatever, on the meter, and the guy gives me, says, "Put it on the credit card." I put it on for $14, and there they were in the middle of the highway. Let them out. I mean, what else could I do? So they were about the worst fare I had. They wanted to play the radio. They were drunk. They were yelling about booze, and they were being super cheap, spending only $14. Well, they didn't get quite halfway home. Too fucking bad. And then she says, "What's your name?" So I tell them, "My name's Andy." And she says, "Well, I'll be sure to keep you in my prayers." What does that mean? As if it's my fault that it's a $30 plus fare to get home and you only got $14? I don't get that. Well, anyway, not long after that, at about 1 o'clock, 1:30, it died. Business died. And I sat in a parking lot, and I got sent on a call. And this call was a street not too far away. It was called Dale Street. 909 Dale was the address I was sent to. So I went there, and it was a house on a corner behind some bushes, and the light was on at the house, and I pull over to the house, and I start dialing the phone number, and nobody answers the phone. So I'm going, okay, well, maybe they'll come out any minute now. Then my phone rings, and she says, "Are you a taxi driver?" I said, "Well, yes, I am." And she says, "Well, where are you?" And I say, "Well, I'm right outside on the corner of Calumet and Dale, 909 Dale." She says, I'm at 909 Deal, D-E-A-L. And I said, "Oh, well, I'm very far away from that. I'll have to call the dispatcher to send you another car." Because, it was like she was almost blaming me for being at the wrong place. But what I was given was 909 Dale, not 909 Deal. It's not my fault the dispatcher didn't hear them right, or it's not my fault that they didn't speak up clearly to tell them exactly where they were. So then I got back to my parking lot, and I was reading my book, and I was, I'd read like half a page and fall asleep. I'd doze off, and then I'd wake up again, and I'd read a couple more, a few paragraphs, and I'd fall asleep again. And, since we were so busy before 1 o'clock, when the adrenaline's going, I'm going, but then when there's no action holding me awake, I just crash. and this time I crashed again, and then I was sent on a. I was sleeping very soundly, and then I got sent on a call, and I'm going to the call, and I'm halfway there, and then it says canceled by dispatcher. Okay, fine. So I go back to the parking lot. I read a few more lines and fall asleep again. Well, now it's like 5 o'clock, and at 6 after 5, I get a call. It's a 5:20 time call. So I rush on over to where the call was originating from, and it was this guy who was going going to the airport. He's going to go on a trip, or he was going anyway. And I had to take him out to the airport, and we got out to the airport, and I guess the airport parking was full, and so cars were lined up on the sides of the street on the road that goes to the airport. Like, you know, they didn't build a multi-level parkade for the airport. They just have a big parking lot, and the parking lot was full. So maybe in the future they're going to put another layer or two, make more room for parking, because Victoria is not shrinking. If anything, it's growing. And you know, they put in more condo buildings and more houses all over the place, but they have to do something about the infrastructure, and they have to do something about the airport. And you know, it's just a couple of years since they expanded the whole thing, but now they're going to have to expand some more, because at times the departure area where you drive up to let people out is not big enough to handle the traffic, and now the parking is not big enough to handle the parking. What else? So I took the guy to the airport, and then it was I had 20 minutes to come back into town and fuel the car and vacuum it and wash it. Well, the roads were kind of greasy and dirty, so the car was getting dirty. I didn't wash it, but I did manage to vacuum it out, and the mats were still pretty clean, so I just shook them out and vacuumed the carpet, put that together, fueled it up, and brought it back, and day shift guy was there waiting for me. And I got in my car and came straight home. And so I have one more night to work this week, and it has been a busy week. It has been tonight. I exceeded all. It's the best Thursday I've had, for a year for sure. And then now there's Friday coming. I don't know, Friday just after Christmas, a couple days after Christmas. I don't know how it's going to be. But this was the Thursday. This was the 26th. No, the 25th. This was Christmas Day, and Christmas Day was the busiest one so far. Yeah, I'll get back to you about 24 hours from now, or a little sooner, and let you know how the Friday went. Oh, yeah. I'm reading. Oh, yeah. Well, for a Friday night, it never really picked up. I think it took about half an hour to get my first call. And as soon as I dropped that one off, I had another one right away. But then, I think I sat for an hour waiting for something to happen after that. Then I guess between about 9 o'clock and 1 o'clock, it was fairly steady, and I was doing pretty good. And after 1, it got kind of quiet again. And the whole morning, well, I can give you an idea here. Yeah, around 9 it started to happen. More like 10. So between 10 and 2. Between 10 and 2 I was moving pretty good. Now it's 5 minutes to 5. I cleared at 1:48, and then at 3:04 I had another trip which lasted until 3:20, and now it's 4:56. So it's been an hour and a half since I cleared, and it was an hour and a half between calls before that. Yeah, you know, you had the day before Christmas, the night before Christmas, and then Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day. So people were partying and drinking and turkey dinnering and all of that stuff for 3 nights in a row. Then on the 4th day they spent the whole day in shopping malls, and so after that they were all tired and didn't want to do anything. So it's been a dead Friday, which I don't mind too much. I don't mind too much because the 3 nights before that I did really well. And there's 1 hour of my shift left to go. Hopefully I get a time call that goes to the airport like I had yesterday, but I'm not exactly holding my breath. I think I'm gonna go back to reading my book, and I hope yours is better than mine.